Hi there guys, it's Dan from Trading College here. I'm just wanting to do a little video here to sort of add some value and just talk about some tools that we might use. And these are sort of freely available, certainly on a lot of trading platforms. And we've got Pro Real Time here with IG, and I sort of use, I suppose, three sort of primary tools when I'm looking at a market. I've got the Euro New Zealand here. And the first tool I'm sort of looking at really is on the left here. You can see it's just a sort of diagonal trend line, really. And what I do is I open a chart, certainly the major sort of timeframes, the daily and the weekly and the monthly. And generally, I'm just trying to find a bit of a trend line here, a few sort of points of touch. I really need, when I'm doing sort of trend lines, at least kind of, well, minimum two touches. I really need a third to make the trend line valid. And here we've pretty much got 4 points of touch here to make that sort of trend line valid. Now, what I'll do, as you can see here, is I'll do a trend line above price here at the top of the candles as the market moves up. And then I'm going to do a trend line below price. And you can see here, there's a bit of a channel, if you like. That's not, it's not something that, just have a little adjustment there. It's something that effectively I'm looking at to sort of try and chart support and resistance. Now, this is being support and this is resistance above price. And you can see each time the market touched the support, it rallied. Can we find an entry? I mean, we've got a lovely sort of PTS buy here telling us we may well get out of this channel later. And but what I say to my students is this really is kind of mapping out what's going on with the market just by using a diagonal trend line. It's pretty straightforward. The other tool I use quite often is this sort of horizontal trend line. I'm really looking just for key areas, key zones. The obvious one here is this sort of top here in recent times. If market, you can see here, there's a little bit of a pinch point, really. When two sort of trend lines intersect, could the market push up into here? And that's a big area of resistance. Well, now I might be looking as a day trader to take advantage of that. And I might look for a red sort of PTS intraday just to sort of short that, and get 20, 30, 40 pips out of that trade. And maybe even more. Maybe this is a big double top, and it sort of drops down, a lot more. So until you start sort of drawing these lines, you can't really see the direction of the market. For me, it's all about sort of mapping that market. And so really, it's the diagonal trend line, horizontal trend line. Try to draw them, everywhere I can, if that makes sense. And certainly when they're relevant to price. And what I mean by that is, then price is not far away from it. Now, if the market turned around here and started to push down, and get towards this diagonal trend line here, I also might put an internal trend, or what we'd call an internal trend line. I'm sort of looking here at a support, and I might have a bit of a range, and we can sort of draw a box where we can find a kind of box of support. You can use another tool here, and you can look at key zones where there might be box of support. Look here as an example, as I sort of run that there, you can see, look, price each time it's either acted as resistance above price here, resistance here, and then we break through and it acts as support a number of times. And so it just highlights some real key areas. So kind of I like using the box as well to find that sort of those real key areas, support and resistance zones. Great thing about these as well is you can just sort of right click on the box, and you can copy that rectangle and try and find another area. It's really sort of simple. you know, just mapping out support and resistance on a chart. It's really, really useful by using just very simple tools, horizontal, diagonal trend lines, and then a sort of box to find support. And when you're sort of, you know, that's, you've got that on the daily time frame. When you're a day trader and you're down on maybe 5 minutes, you know, 15 minutes, 1 hour time frames, it's really key to know where these big areas of support and resistance are, so you can you know, trade around them. The other thing I really like to do, which is quite simple, just another tool, is an alarm. Here, because I know this is going to be a big area of resistance in this market, the Euro New Zealand, I will pop an alarm on here, just, and I might just put it just a number of pips short. So this is a daily sort of chart. So I'm going to put it around about sort of 20, you know, 30 pips just shy of that area. And I will create an alarm here and just put current bar closed, and I'll just create that alert. Oh, actually, that's moved on me. Let me just do that again. So here, I'll just create that alert here in current bar closed. And then I've got a little, you know, you can see the little alarm here. So when price hits that, I should get an alarm on my, and it will remind me of that trade. You know, I don't need to, if I'm thinking about this, maybe this bounce off resistance here, and looking for a short signal perhaps at this kind of double top zone, then you know, I'll just wait for that alarm to fire, and then I could go to the chart and obviously trade accordingly. It's really quite useful. The other tool we like to use, really, and I'll show you here. Let me just tidy this up a little bit. The other tool I like to use is just a Fibonacci. Now, you know, you need to learn how to use them, but there's good instruction actually online. Obviously, join one of our courses. We'll teach you how to use Fibonacci measurements correctly. You know, effectively, we're using this tool to just measure the swing. Here you can see the high to the low, and we've got these areas of resistance and support. And obviously here, this is just showing that actually we may well go completely 100% of the move if we do hit that target. It's quite interesting. Some of these levels, you know, we do find that price will bounce off these levels quite often. Again, as a day trader, that's really quite useful for me. Let's delete that one, sorry. You know, if I grab that Fibonacci tool there, it's really quite useful. You know, seeing this again, this area of resistance a number of times kind of bounced off this 61.8, and that's just really a key fib area. It bounced a couple of times off here. Now, as a day trader, I could have taken advantage of that, certainly with the trend line as well. And then, of course, when price sort of pushes through that level, you know, it's telling us that maybe we're going to continue up. It's really quite a useful tool just to measure the swing. Obviously, as a trader, most instances, I'm looking for as it comes down, and then we get the new buy signal. Look, we've got a lovely green PTS here. Our storyteller's giving us a new buy signal. Now I'm trying to hold the trade for this kind of U-shaped target. You know, markets in a bullish was in a bullish move longer term. It's come on down here, and then we make effectively this U-shaped target all the way up to the top. It's really quite useful in trending moves, and you can track that with that sort of Fibonacci swing. So just a little video there on some of the tools that I like to use. Just the horizontal trend line, the diagonal trend line, obviously boxes to sort of highlight those key areas of support and resistance. You know, certainly those internal lines as well, internal key areas. The alarm here as well, just so I can get do some analysis on a chart, and that analysis isn't wasted because I'm told when we could be hitting this zone where if I'm in long, I need to think about maybe banking some profit at this top, at this U-shaped target. And then the Fibonacci as well, just measuring, this swing. It's really quite useful, especially where you can see price breaks above these kind of Fibonacci areas. Really is, sorry, there's a different one there. It really is quite useful to know where the market could continue up. Really quite useful. Obviously Fibonacci's, these fib expansions, fib retracement tools, sorry, quite useful, and we can teach you how to use them here at Trading College. We do indeed do that as part of our course, and really quite useful. Right, great. Thank you very much, guys. I hope that's useful, and I'll speak to you soon.